Hi guys, so in this video we're going to start having a look at some of the technologies that get used to make web pages. And the first thing we're going to look at is HTML. So you might have heard of HTML before. This is the language that we use to make the pages that you see on the web. And it normally gets used in combination with two other languages called CSS and JavaScript. But we're only going to look at HTML today. So the first thing that you need to write HTML code is a proper text editor. Now your computer does probably come with a text editor. You might have Notepad, which is built into Windows, or there probably is a version for Mac. I don't know what that is. But those text editors tend not to be very good. So there's two things that you can do. One of them is to install a new text editor. Now, one of the best text editors available is called Atom. So you can get it from this website, atom.io. And there's a version for Windows and there's a version for macOS. Now, some Mac users have told me that there's also a version on the App Store, but you have to pay for the version on the App Store. So if you go to the website, you can download it for free. Make sure that you do download it from the correct website. So it's https://atom.io. Now, if you download it from this website, it should be safe because this is a very famous application. But there are lots of other dodgy websites on the internet that will say you can download it from them, and some of them might have viruses. So it's better to come to the official website and then click the download button to download it for your computer. Now, if you have trouble downloading this editor, then you can also use an online editor, which I put on my website. Now, it's not quite as good because some of the things which you can do with an editor installed on your own computer, you can't do as much with an editor that's just on the internet. But it is still better than nothing. So if you want to use the editor on my website, you need to go to www.hacksnacks.com/apps/editor/html. And when you do that, you'll get something that looks like this. Now, I'm going to use this editor to start off showing you the basics of HTML. Okay, so HTML is a language which we can use to make web pages, but the web pages don't have different colors and styles if you're only using HTML. If you want to start adding colors and styles, you need to combine HTML with CSS. That's something we're going to look at in a later lesson. But in this lesson, we're just going to look at making some text documents using HTML and maybe adding some pictures to those text documents. So to start an HTML document, what you have to do is write an open angle bracket. Now, this is the same as the less than symbol. It's probably next to the letter M on your keyboard. Then you type doctype HTML. Now, I should have an exclamation mark in front of doctype like that. Okay, now this tells the computer that I'm going to write some HTML code. Now, this is where my HTML code starts. So first of all, I write HTML, and I also write that in angle brackets. Now, if you're using this editor, then as soon as you do the close bracket, it automatically creates another HTML like this, but with a slash in front of it. And that's because in HTML, the commands which we write in brackets always come in pairs. So we have a start command, and then we have an end command. And then the things which we want that command to do its thing to, we put in the middle of those brackets. Okay, so I'm going to make a space in the middle. Now, another thing that you can see is that this editor pushes the cursor in a little bit between the beginning and the end. And that also is something that we like to do in order to make it easier to read. So now I'm going to write another HTML command. This command is called body, and I do the close bracket, and the end command also appears here. Now these commands written in brackets, the proper name for them is tags. Okay, so this is a tag and this is an end tag. This is a start tag, this is an end tag. Now the HTML tag says that we are writing HTML code, and the body tag says that this is the part of the HTML code that we want to show on the page to other people. So you might have some other HTML commands which aren't supposed to be shown to other people. But in this part, we're writing HTML code that we want to be visible to people visiting our web page. So inside these commands, I can write whatever text I like. And on this editor, I can view that as a preview over here by clicking the test button. Okay, and that shows me what this web page is going to look like. Now, if I'm using an editor like Atom, then I could put the same code into Atom. I'm just going to copy and paste it into here. Now, when Atom starts up, you might get some windows like this. So just click the close button to close these down. And then go to File and New File. Put my code in here. Now, to save my program in Atom, I go to Save As, which is here. I'm probably going to save it on the desktop, and I'm going to call it webpage.html. Now, it is important that your program, your file name ends in .html so that the computer knows it's HTML. And if you enter the correct file name, when you click Save, you'll see that this turns into different colors and all of the tags appear in red, which helps you to write your code. Okay, so now if I've saved it in Atom, then to see it in a browser, what I can do is just go to my desktop and then click on the webpage.html that I saved, and it will open in my browser. Now, when I'm working with Atom, I like to split the screen into two halves, and then I have Atom on one side and I have my browser on the other side. And if I want to change something, then I could just write some text here. And then I choose Save from Atom, and I normally do that by pressing Ctrl S because it's a bit quicker. And then I click Reload here, and then it will show me the changes that I've made. So this is how we can do the same type of web page in Atom. Now, it might seem that Atom is a little bit more complicated than typing it directly into the page on this online editor, but there are advantages to using Atom. In particular, we'll be able to add pictures using Atom, which we can't do with this web editor. Okay, so let's look at adding some more things to my page. Now, there are lots and lots of HTML commands to learn. But one command is the H1 command, which makes a heading. So H1 stands for heading number 1, which is the biggest heading in your page. So I'm putting the H1 command, and then in the middle I'm going to write the title of my page. So I'm going to make a page about computers. Now, I would like you guys to make a page about one of your hobbies, okay? So pick a hobby that you're interested in, and then you're going to create a page telling me about that hobby, and maybe including some pictures of your hobby and teaching me a little bit about it. Okay, so that's the heading of my page. Now I'm going to have a paragraph of text, and there's a command for that as well. So the command for paragraph is P, and I want that text to be inside the paragraph, so I'm going to cut and paste it to move it into the middle. Now if I click test, and it appears up here, you can see that the H1 heading has made a big text here, and then the P has made small text for a paragraph. Now, the paragraph command is important because if I type more stuff here, even though I've put this on two separate lines, it appears as one line in my HTML code. If I want to have something on two separate lines, I need to put them in two separate paragraphs. Okay. We'll have a look at a couple more HTML commands. So one of the useful commands is the B command, which makes text bold. So if I want to make the word computers bold, I can put B inside a tag like that and put computers in the middle. And then when I click text, you'll see that the word computers is a little bit bolder. Okay, now this is quite simple HTML, but we can add in some extra commands. Let's have a look at adding in some images. Now this part is only possible if you have Atom. It isn't possible to do on the web. So to add an image, I need to use the image command, img, and then I write src, and I write the file name of the image that I want to use. Now the image that I want to use needs to be on the same page as my web page. So I've actually got some images in here, images of different computers, so I'm just going to save this into that location, into web page. There we go. Okay, and now I can refer to those images. So my first image is called system.jpg. Now remember that every HTML tag needs to have a start and an end, and that is a rule for, I said every HTML tag, but there is a very, very small number of exceptions. So image is one of those exceptions where we don't put an end tag. And the reason for that is basically because they messed up on HTML. So they made a couple of mistakes and it's a bit too late to fix them now. So when I double click on web page now, you can see that it has all of this text and it also shows the picture that I typed in here. Now, like I said, that only works if you're using Atom. So if I try to do this on the internet and put that into the Internet Web Editor, then what will happen is that you get a broken image icon like this. There's no way to actually show my image. Okay, now this is enough for you to create a page with a little bit of information about you, and also maybe some images of your hobbies and things that you like. If you are quite advanced, you might want to also try adding in some different buttons. So I'm going to show you how to do that as well. The first thing you have to do is outside the body, you have to write the word script. src equals https://www.hacksnacks.com/libs/y8.js. Now this is going to include a little bit of JavaScript program which will allow us to do to make some buttons which do things. So once you've included that script into your HTML, you can create a button like this. So button, when I click test, you can see that there's a button here. Now clicking it doesn't actually do anything yet. We have to tell it to do something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a secret message which appears when you click the button. So I do that by writing a normal paragraph, but then on the paragraph I write a special ID. So the ID is how we refer to this particular paragraph, and you can put an ID onto any HTML tag. Now if I want to show that message, well, first of all I want to hide the message, so I write class equals hidden. So this is all in double quotes, and this will hide the class. So if I click me again, oh sorry, hold on, if I click test again, and then you'll see that this paragraph, the hidden paragraph, isn't appearing, so it's not visible. Now to make it visible, inside the button I write onClick equals and then quotation marks, and I write show open brackets. Now I need to use a single quotation mark here, and then I write the hashtag and the name of the ID that I want to show. Another single quote and a close bracket. So now if I test that out and then I click the Click Me button, it shows the secret message which is hidden at the beginning. Okay, I'll show you that again. Click Test, press Click Me, and then the secret message appears. Now you can also make messages disappear. So if I put PID equals normal message, and click Test. Now it says normal message. When I click, the secret message appears, but let's say I want the normal message to disappear. What I do is put a minus sign and then write normal message. So minus normal message, hashtag secret message will make normal message disappear and it makes secret message appear. Let's just test that. So this is a normal message. I click the button. The normal message didn't disappear. What's happened there? Okay, I've made a mistake somewhere. Okay. Well, these things do go wrong, but never mind. I shall try to sort that out, and maybe you can ask me in the lesson if you want to make the message disappear. So this is the wonders of live action, folks. Although in this case it's pre-recorded. Okay, guys, I hope that gives you some ideas for what to do when you're creating your HTML web page, and come up with something interesting, because I'm certainly going to enjoy reading about some of your interesting hobbies, and I'll be interested to see what you have. Okay, that's it, guys. Thanks very much.